so excited. We were so excited last night to have Patrick on that we continued the conversation. And guess what? We had so much to say. He forgot to say something. So we just wanted to jump on real quick today, say what's up to you, and give Patrick the opportunity to lay some foundation for all of us on community. Hey, Pat. Hey, Reg. How are you?
Hey, gang. Pals.
Awesome. Yeah, I think you said it perfectly, sis. This is Rise and Thrive Together, impromptu. Few quick minutes because this is what happens, the behind the scenes of the live webcast.
We got inspired.
Yeah, it was 30 minutes after. So listen, guys, I'm going to just quickly say out to you, Raquel and I are like, not even just determined. We are like completely committed to having our show become an hour. And what that looks like is we're like out there saying to our community, you've liked us, you've loved us, you've commented, you're coming on our show, you know people who know people. We've got incredible sponsorship packages to make that happen, not just for us, right? But it's for you. It's for your communities. This is about the power of community. And that gives an opportunity for you and whatever you have to say and whatever you're up to be visible, not just on our channels personally and our professional channels, Rise and Thrive Together, but on the Roku channel under Laws of Life with Blanca with 50,000 followers, guys. So with that, I'm going to say, do you want to make the impact in your life to ripple effect out in the world? And how you can go about to do that is become a sponsor. Reach out to info@riseandthrivetogether.com and we can make your dreams happen because together we can rise and thrive. So with that, we're bringing on Patrick Richwood to throw in last night's inspirational conversation.
Baby. I just had to share this story because we were talking about community and and I mentioned tribe and being an actor, how I first discovered my tribe was my people. And it's not just the people I work with, it's the people in the business that I'm in, I'm surrounded by it. So I feel really, really fortunate about that. Like that chosen family thing is very, very strong in my heart. But I also feel like community is about the people you impact and I can say this as an actor because it's a unique place to be in. Since I've done so many films and TV shows and things that so many people have seen, I know that I'm, everywhere I go, I meet people who know me, my face, and they talk to me. So I already know I've got like a meet a stranger for free card, get to know somebody, right? But there are times in everybody's life where you're causing a ripple and the ripple is rippling out and you don't even know how many people it's going to touch. So, and I was telling you guys, I was sharing with you guys about my friend who goes to Comic-Con because she's an actress and she's been in a lot of things and the things that people share with her and just how moved she is by it. Just, people telling her that she was their babysitter for, when they were little because they would watch her films over and over or whatever. So I remembered this story when I was 18. It was my first big Broadway show. I was on a national tour of a big Broadway show called The Pirates of Penzance. And this was a long time ago, a really long time ago. Back when they made the scripts, they carved the scripts out of stone. I'm 18 years old. It's my first big show. I'm a member of the union now. We're sold out everywhere we go. The show was a huge hit in New York. It won the Tony. It was really a big deal to be in it. And it was so much fun. And I guess by this time I was 19 and we were in Philadelphia. And we would play towns for like 6 or 8, 10 weeks. It was great, sold out. And I'm on my bike exploring Philadelphia. I'm from Burbank, okay? Burbank. So everywhere we went was just a huge adventure for me. And they traveled my bike for me. And I'm on my bike in Philadelphia. I'm stopped at a stoplight. And a woman approaches me from the side and taps me on the shoulder, an older woman. And she says, "Excuse me." And I say, "Yes." She said, I think she's going to ask me for directions. And I'm going to be like, "I don't know." And she says, "You were in the show last night. You're in the show." And I said, "The Pirates?" "Yes." She said, I was there. And I said, oh, great, great. Yeah, I'm so glad. And she said, I just wanted to thank you. And I said, oh, you're welcome. You're so welcome. So glad you had a good time. She said, no, I don't, you don't understand. She said, 6 months ago, my husband died. And we had been married for 35 years and I was inconsolable. And I couldn't even barely get out of bed, let alone leave the house. And my daughters were worried about me. And I kept telling them I was fine. And it's funny, I remember all this like it was yesterday. And she goes, but my oldest daughter had bought tickets for your show way in advance for my husband's and my anniversary. And of course, I didn't want to go, but they rallied me. It had been 6 months and they were begging me to get out and just do something for myself. And so I reluctantly went with my daughter to this show, she says. And I said, oh, that's so beautiful. And she said, you made me laugh for the first time in 6 months. Mm. And I was like, she goes, do you understand? And I said, I think so. So thank you, she said. And that was it. And I've never forgotten her. Mm. And that's one of countless people who saw that show or who have seen my work or my friend's work or your work, anybody out there, certainly you two, that we impact. How many people do we impact? And if we think it's just the people in our immediate vicinity or the people we can count, we have to think again, because our community then goes to everybody that they affect because of what we impacted them with. Right. For better or worse. So it's like, when I think of community, I have to remember my community is so much more vast than I can see. And it's a really important thing to remember because it makes you live differently. Mm-hmm. It makes you feel grateful. So I had to share that with your listeners because we were like buzzing last night about community and all the ways that the ripple effects. So thanks for letting me.
That was so awesome. Patrick, I do have to say, my mom, I spoke to her this morning and she sent a comment last night and she said now she's going back. She absolutely loves Pretty Woman. That's like one of her favorite movies of all time. But now she's specifically going to watch it and look for you.
There you go.
She's like, I love it. And Richard Gere, she loves you. So it would be awesome if you came on the show.
He's in the bathroom right now. I'll tell him when he comes out.
Go knock on the door.
Listen, I have no problem with the whole cast, like come on and we could just have a little reunion and talk about the power of
you'd be amazed at how rarely they can make that happen. I did a fundraiser for the Gary Marshall Theater out in Los Angeles. After Gary Marshall, the director of the film, died, his theater was renamed the Gary Marshall Theater in Burbank, and Toluca Lake, really. And they very, very smart. Their PR team got together and said, let's do fundraisers for the theater by screening Gary's films and having people from the cast and crew talk back afterwards, and we'll charge admission. And then they can schmooze with us in some lounge in the theater, after, and that's extra, whatever. It was a great idea. So they got about 6 of us from Pretty Woman. They got Hector Elizondo, who played the hotel manager, who's in every one of Gary Marshall's films.
Love him.
They got Larry Miller, who was the comedian who played the kiss-ass store clerk.
Yep.
They got why is his name escaping me? Well, they got Chuck Minsky, the cinematographer. They got the screenwriter, and for some reason his name has just popped right out of my head, which is so ridiculous. Anyway, they got like 6 of us, and none of us had seen the film in at least a decade, because I've only seen it twice, I think, and one of those times was like the cast crew screening in like 1991 or whatever. So it's been a while, and we all said the same thing. We were like, really holds up, doesn't it? Really, it's like it's just so funny because we were there. We didn't, And they also did the Pretty Woman, the musical on Broadway, had a special performance where they, Richard Gere, Julia Roberts, and Barbara Marshall, Gary's widow, did a thing where they sponsored anybody from Pretty Woman. It was like a gathering to meet the cast, and nobody showed up except for 2 people.
Wow.
Richard was sick. Hector was engaged in something else. Like nobody could make it at the last minute except for me and Julia.
But you said we laughed. Like, this is behind the scenes, right? Because for me, it's like, oh, just me and Julia, right?
I know.
Like,
but
right,
it's the biggest part of the movie and the smallest part of the movie. And there we are.
And
loving it.
And exactly.
Yeah.
And that's the power of community. The bottom line is, it's not like people didn't want you. The power of community is these actors, no matter who you are behind the scenes or in front of the camera, all are out there to continue the impact that they want to make with their creativity out in the world to leave their legacy. And I'm moved by our conversation last night. Patrick asked before we came on, guys, how is my day? And Raquel knows me well, and he knows me well. I don't even have language for that. That's right, guys. I don't have language for it. It is a visceral, extraordinary, heartfelt day to day. I've been teaching what I've been teaching for 11 years, and both classes online with the kids from Colombia. And my seniors were like, something changed in you. And I got to say, hey, I have a really awesome person in my life that we have a show. Go watch it. And it really was, this is behind the scenes, guys. You get a little extra time. That's the impact of the community we created, Raquel. I thank you for that. I thank you for saying yes. I thank you for being in my life, and we don't have to talk, and knowing the impact you've made from the day I met you and how we are always connected. And we don't have to talk, and it's like no thing is in the way. Same thing, Patrick, right? You reached out. And that has made this day for me. And I'm taking that now as I leave, you guys, to go into meeting my daughter's dentist for a surgery that for a 7-year-old and for 2 parents of a 7-year-old, I wouldn't want, but we need to have for her. And there was a lot of fear and some, definite limiting belief stuff going on. And it is the power of this community that has me going in there with power and love and support.
Rock on, sister.
Awesome.
That's great. That's great.
Thank you so much, Patrick. Thank you so much, Reg. Guys, this is what it's about, right? It's about community. It's about communication. And I do want to just add one thing before we wrap up here. We don't just, when I say we, yes, Reg and I, and we throwing Patrick in it because Patrick is, Patrick is Patrick. He's family. We don't want you to just hear us. We want to hear you. So when you are having breakdowns, breakthroughs, and results, we want to know about it. Just hit us up, so that we can celebrate with you when it's a breakthrough. When you're having a breakdown, we're there to help you up because we are rising and thriving. And that doesn't mean we're always up. We do have those moments where we are down. We don't live down there, though, right? That's a temporary hold. That is not permanent residence. And we are definitely sending the mail back when it comes, because mail means you live there. We're not living there, guys. So we are definitely there to help you through, but we want you to help yourself through as well. Okay, so this is a community. We're not going to do the work for you. We'll do it with you. Right? So we want to hear your results, breakthroughs, breakdowns, breakups. We want to hear it all so that we can help you through this. And we will all continue together to rise and thrive. Take care, guys. Till next time.